Welcome to the Capital City Saints, your home for St. Paul Saints baseball. Every week, we're bringing you the stories, highlights, biggest moments, and the personalities that make this team one of the most entertaining in baseball. From CHS Field to every stop along the season, we're celebrating the players, the fans, and the tradition that makes the Saints baseball unlike anything else.
Welcome in to the Capital City Saints, your one-stop shop for everything St. Paul Saints baseball. The Saints, in their first game without Walker Jenkins after he got called up to the MLB, end up losing 9-3 to the Toledo Mud Hens and are tumbling down the standings right now. If you are a Saints fan, please leave a like on the video if you do end up liking it. If you're a Twins or Saints fan, please subscribe to the channel for more updates about the St. Paul Saints. You can also comment any questions, comments, or concerns that you may have going forward here down in the comments down below. Like I said, the Saints end up losing 9-3. This game was an absolute blowout and bloodbath. Early, it was 7-0. Through 4.5 innings. The Saints get 2 in the bottom of the fifth to make it 7-2. They get 1 to make it 7-3 in the bottom of the sixth. And then the Mud Hens get 2 more in the 8th inning to make it that 9-3 final score. The Mud Hens get 8 hits on the day. The Saints get 7. The winning pitcher for the Mud Hens is Brisky. He moves to 3-0. Castro falls to 3-3 for the Saints. It is a 2-hour and 59-minute game. It was a bit of a long one last night. The attendance in the game was 6,670 people. The fair couldn't keep people away from the Saints game last night, as last night had more attendance than the night before did, with the fair going on yesterday. Ricky Castro, again, he struggled. Again, it was just kind of a leaky game for him. It wasn't like it was just one bad inning or one bad pitch. It just wasn't perfect, or it just wasn't there enough. He went 3 into third innings, gave up 5 runs on 5 hits. He struck out 6 and walked 3. Gave up the home run on the first pitch of the game in the first inning. And he let up a 2-run homer in the second. Got the shutout in the third. He ended up walking the first 2 batters of the 4th inning before he let up a sac bunt and then ended up getting pulled. Those 2 walks were his 2 runners. So he got, when Hidalgo let up a run, he ended up getting credit for those 2 runs there in the 4th inning. Alejandro Hidalgo came in. He pitched an inning and a third, gave up 2 runs on 2 hits with 2 strikeouts, did walk 4. So the walks were an issue for Hidalgo last night. Eric Orze came in, pitched 2 1/3 innings. He pitched very, very well in last night's game. Didn't allow a single run or a hit. Struck out 2 and ended up walking 0. Again, he was the only guy that pitched more than an inning that did not allow a base runner. Marco Raya pitched an inning. He let up 2 runs on 1 hit with 3 strikeouts and 2 walks. Woo Suk Go pitched 1 inning. He let up 0 runs, 0 hits, 2 strikeouts, and nobody was walked. Eric Orze also came in, ended up pitching 23 pitches in 2 1/3 innings pitched. So Eric Orze, I think, was the best player for the Saints, for sure the best pitcher for the Saints last night. On the offensive side, Ben Ross ended up going 0 for 5 with 2 strikeouts. Again, just an awful night from the leadoff hitter for the Saints. Emmanuel Rodriguez did pretty well. He ended up going 2 for 4 with a home run and a double. He ended up homering in the 6th inning. It was a solo shot, so it was just one RBI from that. Gabby Gonzalez ended up going 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Matt Wallner went 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts and 2 walks. Again, he was the very much a 3 true outcomes hitter. Hendry Mendez went 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Cody Morissette went 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts and a walk. Again, might have been the worst at the plate amongst the Saints hitters. Tristan Gray went 2 for 4, did single twice. Tanner Schobel went 2 for 3 with a home run, 2 RBIs, a run scored, and a walk. Again, it's Schobel or Eric Orze were the 2 best Saints players in last night's game, by far and away. And then the catcher, David Baluenos, went 0 for 4 with a strikeout. And he did end up losing both challenges in the 4th inning. So the Saints were out of challenges by the end of the 4th inning. Hidalgo got a pitch clock violation in the 5th inning as well. And the Saints hitters, again, the 9 of them, ended up striking out 12 times in the game last night. And that includes Tanner Schobel not striking out at all. Tristan Gray not striking out. Emmanuel Rodriguez not striking out. So 3 of the Saints batters ended up not striking out, and the other 6 struck out 12 times combined. So not really a good night at the plate for the Saints hitters in last night's game. And again, like I mentioned before, Walker Jenkins was called up to the MLB, and they were clearly struggling at the plate without him in last night's game. They just could not get going. The Saints are back in action tonight at 7:07 p.m. They're 73-55. Yerman Marquez gets the ball for the Saints. The 68-60 Toledo Mudhens will send Jackson Wolf to the plate. Again, a 7:07 pitch from CHS Field. I do want to bring up too, the Saints are now down 2-1 in the series. Like I mentioned yesterday, they absolutely had to go 3-1 and win the series the rest of this series. So that should be the only game that they lose the rest of the way in this series. But this team has been struggling. I guess they have been staying somewhat consistent and just splitting series recently, and they've been able to split those series, which is consistent. But since that series against the Louisville Bats, they just have not really looked all that great. Again, 31-23 in the second half. They're in 3rd place in the International League. They're 2 games back from Rochester in 2nd, and then 3 games back from Indianapolis, who's in 1st. So they really need to turn things around here the rest of the way to even have a chance of making the playoffs. And again, I understand it is hard to make the playoffs because there's only 2 teams that do from the International League. But I still believe that this team has the talent to do it. And yes, Walker Jenkins got called up, but I still believe that this team is underperforming for over the last couple weeks and just tying all of these series. I do think that they are a better team than that. So we'll see how it is going forward. We'll have an episode out tomorrow recapping tonight's game. I'll be at tonight's game again, so be looking forward to that in your inbox tomorrow, and we will see you then. Peace.